Good morning, students. As in our last class, we have read about chapter number 2, The Adventures of Toto. So now it's time to do the exercises of this particular chapter of supplementary reader. So I am sharing the exercises with you, and obviously you need to write this exercise in your notebook. The first question is, how does Toto come to grandfather's private zoo? So grandfather was fond of pet animals. He had a private zoo of his own. He had seen Toto with a Tonga driver who used to keep him tied to a feeding trough. The monkey looked so out of place there that grandfather decided to make him a part of his private zoo. Thus, Toto comes to grandfather's private zoo. The second question is, Toto was a pretty monkey. In what sense is Toto pretty? The answer is, Toto had bright, sparkling, mischievous eyes, deep-set eyebrows, and white, pearly teeth. His pickled hands had quick and wicked fingers. He had a tail which not only added to his beauty but also worked as his third hand. His mischievous nature added charm to his looks. The third question is, why does grandfather take Toto to Saharanpur and how? Why does the ticket collector insist on calling Toto a dog? So the answer could be, grandfather has to go to Saharanpur to collect his pension. As Toto cannot live with other animals, grandfather decides to take him with him. When grandfather shows his ticket to the ticket collector, Toto gives the ticket collector a wide grin. The ticket collector is taken aback. He is irritated and clarifies Toto as a dog. The fourth question is, how does Toto take a bath? Where has he learned to do this? How does Toto almost boil himself alive? The answer could be, with the passage of time, grandfather was also getting affectionate with Toto. She used to give warm water to Toto for his comfortable bath. It was a great treat for Toto. The water was put in a large bowl. Toto first tested the temperature by putting his hand in it. Then gradually he put his hand and legs in the large bowl with warm water. He repeated this very cunningly until he was in the water up to his neck. Perhaps he had learnt this kind of bathing when he saw the narrator doing this. After becoming comfortable, Toto would take and rub the soap on his hands or feet. When water became cold, Toto rushed to kitchen fire to dry him up. One day Toto nearly succeeded in boiling himself alive. A large kettle was on fire to boil water for tea. Toto got into the kettle, sticking his head out. As water started boiling, he felt uncomfortable but could not come out due to the cold outside. Luckily, grandmother came there and rescued him from boiling water. The fifth question is, why does the author say Toto was not the sort of pet we could keep for long? The answer could be, Toto was not only mischievous but also his mischiefs were very much expensive for the family. He tore the expensive wallpaper, dresses and broke plates, etc. Even grandfather realized that he could not afford such frequent loss. Actually, he was a wild monkey. So the writer gives the above statement. So students, these are the 5 questions of your chapter 2. Now let's do the additional one question, which is think about it. This also you should write in your notebook. Do you have a pet? Is your pet mischievous? Tell the class about it. Now this is something about discuss. This is something about oral. However, I am sharing the answer with you And you can understand by these answers that I am sharing the answer with the advisor book. So students, answers, whether the answer are from advisor or from any other source or from me, if the answers are correct, I am going to share it. There is no harm in it. And remember one thing, whenever I will give you any homework, suppose अगर ये question, do you have a pet वाला, अगर मैं आपको homework देता, then in any case you should not copy it from the advisor or any other guide, because homework देने का मतलब ही है कि you should try your own. हालांकि मैंने सोचा था कि ये क्वेश्चन होमवर्क दूंगा, बट मैं इसका आंसर शेयर कर रहा हूँ आपके साथ. आप इसको एज इट इज़ लिख लो समझ के. आगे की बात कह रहा हूँ. होमवर्क मिलने पर किसी के पास एडवाइज़र या कोई भी बुक हो, दे विल नॉट कॉपी इट. तो क्वेश्चन है स्टूडेंट्स, डू यू हैव ए पेट? Is your pet mischievous? Tell the class about it. So, yes, I have a pet dog. His name is Tommy and he is very mischievous. Some of his mischiefs are as follows. Tommy loves to play with my socks. Whenever I forget them in my room, he takes them and starts playing with them. He throws them under the bed or out of my room's door with his paw and then brings them back holding them with his teeth. One day he took away my slippers and hid them under the bed in the other room. Sometimes when he is in a playful mood and I am busy with my homework, he puts his front paws on the table and takes away my pen and pulling my shirt forces me to play with him. One night when I was sleeping, he scared me by jumping quietly on my bed and licking my feet. So this could be the answer of this question. Obviously, the students who are willing to write the answers of their own and want to be checked it by me, they are most welcome to write the answers by themselves. I will be more than happy if they will write their own answers, and I will be very satisfied to check their answers, those who have written the answers of their own. Okay, so this is the exercise of chapter number 2. Now let's move towards the second, not it's not the chapter. Beehive का जो first poem है, The Road Not Taken. It's a very very interesting poem, marvelous poem, बहुत अच्छा poem है. इतनी कमाल की ये poem है कि मैंने आज तक कई सारी इंग्लिश पोएम्स पढ़ी. यकीन मानो ये पोएम मुझे दिस पोएम इज़ वन ऑफ माई फेवरेट पोएम. बहुत पसंद है मुझे ये पोएम, बिकॉज इसका जो समरी है, इसका जो थीम है, इट इज़ वेरी अनकॉमन एंड एक्यूरेट. द रोड नॉट टेकन बाय रॉबर्ट फ्रॉस्ट. This well-known poem is about making choices and the choices that shape us. Robert Frost is an American poet who writes simply but insightfully about common ordinary experiences. समझ सकते हो आप ये पढ़ के कि रॉबर्ट फ्रॉस्ट जो है वो भले ही विदेशी हैं, अमेरिकन पोएट है, लेकिन उनकी भाषा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड नहीं है. साधारण भाषा में बहुत गहरे अर्थों के साथ वो साधारण अनुभवों के बारे में, जीवन की साधारण बातों के बारे में, जीवन के साधारण प्रॉब्लम के सॉल्यूशंस के बारे में लिखते हैं. सो लेट्स रीड द पोएम. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry, I could not travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. पहले पूरी पोएम पढ़ते हैं. Then took the other, just as fair and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted weir. Though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet knowing how way leads onto way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence, Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. रॉबर्ट फ्रॉस्ट। तो स्टूडेंट्स आप देख सकते हो बहुत ही कमाल की पोएम है। इस पोएम में जो लिखा है, जो समझाया है, वो क्या है देखो। इस पोएम में जो लिखा है वो जो समझाया है वो ये है कि रास्ता जो किसी के द्वारा या बहुत कम लोगों के द्वारा लिया गया हो, उस रास्ते पर जो है चलना साहस की तो निशानी है ही, और कुछ अलग कर दिखाने की भी निशानी है। पोएट इंडिकेटिव वे में, यानी प्रतीक के रूप में ये पोएम लिखा है, और किसी प्रतीक के द्वारा वो अपनी बात समझाना चाहता है। प्रतीक ये है कि पोएट एक बार जंगल में जाता है तो वो देखता है कि वुड मीन्स स्मॉल फॉरेस्ट, येलो वुड का मतलब हुआ ऐसा छोटा जंगल जहां पतझड़ का मौसम आया हो और पत्ते सूख करके गिरने लगे हों, यानी पीले पड़ गए हों। तो जब पोएट एक बार छोटे जंगल की तरफ ऐसे ही घूमने के लिए जाता है तो उसको दो रास्ते एक स्थान से निकलते हुए दिखते हैं, अलग अलग दिशाओं में वो जा रहे थे। पोएट को उस जंगल को पार करके मान लो दूसरी दिशा में निकलना था, तो उसे एक रास्ता चुनना था। और सबसे बड़ी बात है कि पोएट दोनों रास्ता नहीं चुन सकता था। दोनों रास्ता चुनना पोएट के लिए असंभव था। चूंकि वो यात्री था तो वो चिंता मग्न हो गया, कंफ्यूज्ड हो गया और खड़े रह करके सोचने लगा। लगातार उन दो रास्तों को बड़े ध्यान से देखने लगा कि वो रास्ते कहाँ तक जाते हैं और कहाँ से मुड़ते हैं, या कहाँ जाकर के वो टर्न होते हैं। जहाँ तक पोएट की नजरें जा रही थी, पोएट ने रास्ते को खड़े होकर के काफी देर तक शांत चित्ता के साथ, ऑब्वियसली थोड़े कंफ्यूजन के साथ देखा। Then took the other, just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. The meaning of second stanza मैं बता रहा हूं आपको। पोएट ने काफी समय देखने के बाद जो रास्ता चुना वो दूसरा रास्ता था। वो रास्ता ये था जहां पर बहुत कम लोग चले, जहां चलने के लिए साहस चाहिए, जहां चलने के लिए एक अलग सोच चाहिए, जहां चलने के लिए आत्मविश्वास चाहिए। पोएट ने वो रास्ता चुना जो पूरी तरह से जो है कटीली झाड़ियों, घास से भरा हुआ था और जिसे मरम्मत की सख्त जरूरत थी, क्योंकि उस रास्ते पर चल करके पोएट को काफी सारी मुश्किलों का सामना करना पड़ सकता था। पोएट को काफी सारी समस्याओं का सामना करना पड़ सकता था। कई सारे जो है उसके पैरों में कांटे भी चुभने की बिल्कुल संभावना थी। बहुत ही गंदा, कंटीला और ऐसा रास्ता था जिसे देख करके स्पष्ट तौर पर समझ में आ रहा था कि यहां से लंबे समय से कोई नहीं चला है। पोएट ने बहुत गहरे आत्मविश्लेषण के बाद वो रास्ता चुना। And both that morning equally lay, at leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. So students, the meaning of third stanza पढ़ते हैं। तो उस सुबह, जिस सुबह मैंने डिसाइड किया कि दूसरे रास्ते पर चलना है जो अपेक्षाकृत ज़्यादा घास वाला या कटीला था, तो मैंने ये फैसला कर लिया था कि मैं दूसरे रास्ते पर चलूँगा, और ये ऐसा रास्ता था जहाँ पर ना के बराबर लोग चले थे, क्योंकि जो चलने से घास वगैरह घिस जाती है, घास वगैरह साफ हो जाती है, रास्ता और क्लियर हो जाता है, तो ऐसा नहीं था। मैं दूसरे रास्ते पर, जिसमें अपेक्षाकृत कम लोग चले थे, उस पर चलने लगा, और पहला रास्ता मैंने दूसरे दिन के लिए स्थायी या दूसरे दिन के लिए मैंने रिजर्व कर लिया। मैंने सोचा अगर मैं पहले रास्ते पर दूसरे रास्ते से गया और जा कर के अगर वापस आया, तब फिर मैं कभी किसी दिन पहले रास्ते पर चलूँगा। हालांकि दूसरे रास्ते से चलते वक्त मुझे लगातार संदेह हो रहा था कि मैं वापस आऊँगा भी या नहीं। I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. सदियों से यही बात चलती आ रही है, सदियों से यही सत्य है कि वो रास्ता जिस पर बहुत ही कम लोग चले हैं, अगर उस रास्ते पर आप चल पाओ तो आपको वो मिलेगा जो अकल्पनीय होगा। अर्थात अगर आप ऐसे रास्ते से चलो जिस रास्ते पर बहुत कम पथिक रहे हैं, और अगर आप चलते चलते लगातार उस रास्ते को हैबिचुअलाइज्ड कर लो। हैबिचुअलाइज्ड कर लो का मतलब, ये जो रास्ते हैं ये प्रतीक हैं, दे आर द इंडिकेशंस ऑफ द moral or of the teaching of the poet, or the thought process of the poet. ये पोइट की थॉट प्रोसेस को सिर्फ समझा रहे हैं। What actually the poet wants to say is this, that if we walk on such a path which is very very less traveled by the people, means the minimized people have traveled from this path, if we choose that type of path, we are almost sure to create glory for us. We will be in a position to be applauded by the people who have not risked to walk from that particular path. So students, this is the poem all about. अब हम लोग थोड़ा सा इसकी एक्सरसाइज की तरफ बढ़ते हैं। As you can see from your textbook, you can see that the first question is, where does the traveler find himself and what problem does he face? So you can write, the traveler finds himself in the yellow forest where the road is divided into two parts. He faces the problem of a choice between the two roads on which to travel. Second question is, discuss what these phrases mean to you. A yellow wood, it was grassy and wanted wear, the passing there, leaves no step had trodden black, how way leads on to way. तो इसका आंसर आप लिख सकते हो। येलो वुड का मतलब क्वेश्चन